Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you round 2 of the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge, live from Hockenheim. In the booth with me tonight, I have Mr. Yaz Samai. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
I also have, on the wheels of steel, doing all the slow-mos of Pete crashing, it's Mr. Sam Boozin.
Good evening, everybody.
So, Yaz, round 2 of this fantastic championship. We've got another new driver this week in Sam Blees, who drove in the ITCR series and obviously enjoyed himself. So he's with us tonight. But let's talk about the track, Hockenheim. We've seen quite a bit of this lately since its recent release on the iRacing service. Cracking track, couple of really tricky sessions, but should suit these cars very well.
Yeah, it's a fun track, some high-speed sections, and then a very tricky, very narrow end section to the lap, where I think we're going to see some action for sure. Definitely no place to overtake over there unless people are being very brave. But on the high-speed sections, we should see some action. And yeah, we're in for a good cracker after last week. I'm sure we're going to see some sparks fly all around.
Yeah, like you say, last week the TCRs, we know they're always close. They're like a load of buzzing hornets. But we had probably one of our most enjoyable GT4 races. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's just have a quick reminder of what happened last time. So Chris Shaw took away the win in GT4 with Rob Venn second and Tyler Newitt third. Stephen Walker took away the win in TCR with Lee Bowden in second and Mark Draper in third. So obviously that's how they sit in the championship after one round. But interestingly, in the team standings, Spectre 6 Purple, they currently sit top of the pile, 1 point ahead of BSTV Esports Orange. And then BSTV Esports Pink in third. So, Sam Blees proved his pace in a TCR on Sunday. He's up against some real stiff opposition again tonight. Do you think he can get up the front there with these guys in this series? Bear in mind it's a 60-minute race with a pit stop rather than the 3 20-minute sprint races we had on Sunday.
Yeah, he showed some good pace on Sunday's ITCR sessions, but yeah, like you say, an hour is very different to 20-minute sprints. There's a bit more to think about with a pit stop in between. And yeah, it's I'm sure his pace will be up there. I'm very interested to see how he can put the race together for 1 hour. I'm sure he'll do well, but how well, we'll have to wait and see. These guys are, after last week, I think they were somewhat surprises. I use the term surprises quite loosely because the regulars were up there, but they weren't in the usual order. So it will be nice to see how they stack up again this evening, hoping that it will be a tight pack up front again in both races.
Yeah, and we got no Tyler Newitt tonight because he's currently on a plane flying back from his sex cult or wherever he's been. Wobbly Kneecaps is showing some fantastic pace round here. Currently top of the pile. We're 11 minutes into this qualifying. Rob Venn sits second, Chris Shaw third. And then in TCR, currently in provisional pole is Lee Bowden with Mark Draper second, Gary Craig in third. Sam Blees currently sitting in fifth position. And there's not a great deal in the times, Yaz.
Yeah, like we've become used to in the TCRs, nothing between first and what's it, ninth place is less than 8/10. Looking at the GT4s, yes, Wobbly Kneecamp is up front again. He's always shown immense pace in all the races he's been in. But as his name says, he does tend to be a bit wobbly in the races from time to time and puts a foot wrong here and there. But he has shown that he can do it, as you know, and win races. It's just about if he can keep it all together. So yeah, this qualifying is definitely showing again that it's very tight and that it's anybody's game.
Yeah, agree with you with Wobbly there. Like you say, pace, yes, always there. But he's always got a mistake in him somewhere. So, you know, that must give hope to the cars behind him. But that's going to be a fantastic battle there up the front, and probably all the way down. You know, Jamie Wilson is no slow coach, and he's currently 7th. In qualifying, so that's going to be interesting because we know what Jamie's like. Doesn't always have the best qualifying, but always tends to move up the field, and not in the usual way, not the way I like to overtake people when they crash, because we don't get that many crashes in this series. So it is certainly done on talent, but that TCR field tonight is, well, it's unbelievable. It is so close, and they've got under 2 minutes now to get themselves sorted out. So yeah, this is going to be very exciting because a lot of them are still out on the track.
Yeah, and from what we've seen in some of the official races and what the guys have been talking about, this track isn't one that lends itself to a completely clean race. People do make mistakes, people do go off, especially in the tight section towards the end of the lap, sort of the heel of the boot there. If we're looking at what the track looks like, it is that section of track is really single file. You know, it's really going to take some brave moves to try and pull off anything there. But also at the same time, being that tight, there's just so little room for error. And if you put a foot wrong there, it is, yeah, you're going to lose places. So with the times being this close, you know, a mistake is going to cost you dearly in track position.
Yeah, do you know what? I've never looked at this track as a boot, but I can see what you're saying now. Although that does worry me about your footwear now, Yaz. I always had you down as a Crocs kind of guy, not a high-heeled boot kind of guy.
I would never own a pair of Crocs, though. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, like a lot of people dislike Crocs, but it's a multi-billion-dollar company, so it's a lot of people lying out there about Crocs, but we digress. Yeah, so
well, we don't actually, because if anybody from Crocs is watching, we're always looking for sponsors.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the times now, I see that we've got in the TCRs, we've got 10 drivers now within less than 9/10 of a second. Just showing how tight it is. In the GT4 field, it's exactly the same. Only one driver outside of a second of that pole time, which is extremely tight for a field of this size. Yeah, we're in for something again tonight.
Yeah, checkers are out in qualifying, so only the drivers that are currently on a lap can finish their laps and try and improve. Obviously, with Tyler being away, we've got absolutely no inside information as to pit strategies. So, as usual, we will just make it up as we go along.
Yeah, well, with the fuel regulation changes, it's definitely going to be a one-stopper. I think that part is certain. When they're going to stop, that's now going to be up to the drivers to see what they can do and how they can put something together to try and sort of outsmart the rest of the field and see what they can pull off there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think with it being a morning track and cooler temperatures, I don't foresee anybody changing tires. I think that deficit is just going to be too much, and I don't think the tire wear is going to be too much at this temperature. But we could be surprised. We could see something like we saw in the Formula One Grand Prix this weekend, with someone taking tires and taking a longer stop and chasing them down at the end. Yeah, let's see what they decide to do.
Yeah, I can see people taking 2 tyres. Probably left, I would guess, around this track, but we shall see. Just wait for the session to click over, and then we will bring you your official starting grid. Hopefully I can make it work at my end this time, because it seems to be the nut behind this wheel that has the problems. Right, so let's see what we can get up. Ah, I've got it. Woohoo! Right, so I should do your GT4 starting grid. So wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink goes off on pole position. Rob Venn, BSTV Esports Orange second. Chris Shaw, BSTV Esports Pink in third. Stefan Goebel, VTS Esports in fourth. Simon Trendle, Team Chimera in fifth. Sixth is Jamie Wilson, again Team Chimera. Seventh is Chris Needham, RWC Racing. Eighth is Marco Lewert for VTS Esports. And ninth we have Jason Haddington for RWC Racing 2.
So in your TCR field, you got Lee Bowden up front in pole. Mark Draper coming up second there for work hard by result. Gary Craig, BSTV Esport Green in third. Sam Blees in fourth. Stephen Walker taking off there in fifth. Russell Cowell, GTR Esport in sixth. Martin Brennan for safeguard by result in seventh. Carl Hardy, safeguard by result in eighth. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esport Green in ninth place. Shane Powell in 10th. Matt Almore in 11th. And we've got David Ayres bringing up the rear for Result Clothing iRacing in 12th.
Yeah, David won't mind bringing up the rear.
Wouldn't be the first time he's bringing up the rear there.
Certainly wouldn't, no. Okay, so lights coming on. We have obviously a rolling start, as this is multi-class. You will see the TCR drivers will hold off and give a gap to the GT4 drivers. Evening to Sir Alan on the chat, and also Ben Cullen, who is currently pulled guard duty. I feel for you, mate. I used to hate it myself. I have a feeling Wobbly is going to go as soon as he possibly can to try and get the grunt out of that BMW.
Yeah, I think the pace car's in now, and yep, he's away.
He's gone. Yeah, I thought he might. I think he went slightly early, if I'm honest, but he's got away with it by the looks of it.
Yeah, we've got a couple of sort of longish straight sections in the first part of this track.
TCR's away. Cleanly.
Everybody looks to be clean away there.
Yeah, obviously the first bottleneck, really proper bottleneck, is the hairpin.
Yeah, that's going to be a really, really tight hairpin. Oh, who's that? That's Stefan Goebel being turned. Okay, he's managed to keep it off the wall, but now he's got to chase down the packet now, and the TCR is obviously going to catch up with him now. The difference in time between the GT4s and the TCRs are not that big. Oh, we've got someone going up the inside of the hairpin here.
Whoa!
Marco Lewert. Oof! And that's the other VTS car.
Yeah, so that's both of them spat out.
Yeah, the hairpin.
That was Marco on his own, I believe.
No, that he got spun by someone before that when he tried to dive up the inside of the hairpin.
Yeah, he was in a Chimera sandwich, wasn't he? Yeah, look. And I think he just drifted across, didn't he? I don't think you can put any blame on Simon Trendle there. Oh, somebody who was well out wide there. I'm guessing that was it Bingham? No.
Yeah, there are some easy runoff areas. Oh, here you can see how tight this section of the track is. Not much space, not much room to move around here, and they're still going too wide. But yeah, they're going to have to straighten out to be able to make it work. There are some good runoff areas in some of these bends, so you'll see some cars go wide in a few places. Some of them will have some off-track penalties attached to them, but I don't think any of them have too severe slowdowns. So we might see a couple of cars go wide here and there.
Yeah, this is a good battle, isn't it? You've got Martin Brennan, Shane Powell, Matt Elmore, and David Ayres all involved in this.
Yeah, David Ayres has picked up a position there from the start. Martin Brennan's moved down a bit, fallen down the field. He had a good qualifying. I think he qualified in 7th, if I'm not mistaken. But he has dropped down. In saying that, he's still kind of moving in the wrong direction there, but he's in a battle here with 3 other cars.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm on the chat said evening. He's watching how the experts do it. I think he's talking about taking fuel when he says that. Taking the correct amount of fuel.
He could also be talking about us commentating. Martin is all over the is really all over the back of Simon Powell, trying to get past.
Yeah, good. It's a good towing track, isn't it? It's got some half decent straights on it.
Yeah, I think Martin just needs to calm down a little bit now and just get into a rhythm. He's going in very hot in a few of these corners. Just calm it a little and just get back into some kind of groove.
So Simon Trendle, we're on board with. He's got Chris Needham in front of him.
Wobbly's up front. Wobbly's taken up a bit of a gap on the rest of the field now. He's opened up a bit of a gap between himself and Rob Venn. But Rob Venn is also fighting with Chris Shawby right behind him, so I'm sure that's gonna play in favour of Wobbly Kneecap.
And Tyler Newitt has just tuned into the chat. He said he's between planes. So he's tuning in to make sure Rob carries Team Orange.
Ooh.
Oh, hello.
What's happened there? He's just
probably lost his bearings.
Yeah, he probably missed his braking marker altogether there. He got a bit excited, wanting to make the pass. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's a bail.
Yeah, that's a very hard braking zone, a very long braking zone there, and I think he's just left it too late.
On the plus side, he didn't hit anything.
Yeah, I think Stacey, who's in here tonight, would be happy with. I'm sure there's some money being added to the jar.
I would have thought so. Fantastic shot there from Sam on our curb cam.
Seeing these cars come over us there. We should see the TCRs come through. You can see some very different lines taken through here, but all the TCRs following each other. The GT4s were taking it a bit tighter.
So this is the battle for the lead.
Yep.
What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in this at the moment.
Yeah, I think we're going to see these guys swap positions all race.
Yeah, Gary Craig just took second, didn't he, from Lee Bowden? Oh, and I think that is Sam Belize, isn't it?
Sam Belize is in 5th place at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Stephen Walker just getting past Lee Bowden as well. There's Sam Belize there, now behind, or it's still behind Lee Bowden. David Ayres is having a good battle with these Spectre 6 silver cars.
Yeah, Rob Venn isn't getting a chance to breathe here with Chris Shaw right on his tail, and Jamie Wilson. We spoke about Jamie Wilson starting a little bit lower down the field than what we used to, but we see he's back up there in a scrap for podium position.
Yeah, he's got 2 places, hasn't he, so far? And I'm sure Simon Trendle will be wanting to get past Chris Needham and then see if he can get on the back of his teammate.
Yeah, he's actually been behind Chris for quite some time. So
he has, hasn't he? Yeah, Chris is doing well in the Porsche. Normally those guys would have another teammate in Arnaud Chenonnier, but he's not very well tonight.
Yeah, Mark Draper out front now, trying to put a little bit of a gap between himself and Gary Craig. There's a big, there's definitely a big toe around this track with these long sweeping, well, somewhat curved straights, but flat out sections. You know, there's a lot of flat out sections here where they get up to very high speed. So you know, getting that gap between yourself and the car behind you is definitely going to benefit. You know, sort of give you that breathing room. Because as long as they're within the toe, you're not going to get away.
Yeah, and the top 8 are now in this battle.
Yeah, there's really nothing between them. All of them are within a second of each other. Gary Craig is now pulled up back behind Mark Draper. That gap that I was speaking about a little bit earlier is completely gone again. The gap that Wobbly's got is definitely growing. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think the Rob Chris Jamie battle is helping him, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
He is actually the quickest car on track anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Shaw's made the move up in there. They are in the same team, in the same stable, so I don't think that might have been a bit coordinated. But it looks like he's gotten through the. Yeah, he's made it. He's made it stick.
Oh, and Jamie Wilson is going to make a move there. Yeah. It looked like a little wiggle from Rob, but he's got the inside for this corner. Jamie's going to hang tough around the outside. Was that wheels? I think that was wheels coming together or net code. Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that from above.
Yeah, these curbs aren't nice if you hit them at the wrong angle. They made him bounce completely up in the air there.
Yeah, looks like he's got away without any major damage, though.
Let's see what happened there.
Yeah, can we see it from above? This is what we need to look at.
I think this is where it happens. Oh,
yeah, so Rob's left rear, wasn't it? And Jamie's right front.
Yeah, then he just hit that sausage curb just at the wrong angle, which made him
Yeah.
bounce up the air spectacularly. It made for good viewing there. But I'm sure he didn't enjoy that too much. Chris Needham's now gotten through into 4th place. So yeah, we'll see if these the team Chimera is going to chase him down now and need to get through. But I think that Chris Shaw and Rob Venn will have some breathing room between them to try and put some good laps in. And hopefully chase down Wobbly.
Yeah, Gary Craig putting pressure on Mark Draper now at the front of the TCR field.
Yeah, this is not going anywhere. I think this battle is going to be going on for the next 50 minutes at the front of the TCRs. Mind you, I said that last week, and they got spread out by the pit stops. But I really don't think this is going to be a race that's going to end anytime soon between these TCRs. This is going to go on for a long time.
What did Gary did something, didn't he, with his pit stop? Was it speeding?
Yeah, he was going too fast in that pit stop last week, and then he got that penalty. I think it's 40 seconds where you just need to sit there and scream at yourself and curse yourself and do everything else by yourself, and that while you're waiting for that 40 seconds to count down. It's the longest 40 seconds in any race. Yeah. Well, I guess he was screaming on the team chat as well, so everybody else was hearing his curses himself. But yeah, those are one of those mistakes that you really can't blame on anybody else, because you're the only one who's done it.
That's very true. Very true. So Tyler is saying that Rob versus Jamie looked similar to me and Wobbly here. Lucky neither seemed to be broken. I can't even remember the races from Sunday. So
No, that was not. Last time we were at Hockenheim, if you remember, Tyler ran the inside at this specific corner, and there were a massive netcode contact between him and Wobbly.
Oh, his suspension broke, huh?
Yeah, that's the one.
it was obviously Tyler's fault.
Yeah, as always, but at least one remember Tyler,
And if Elizabeth is watching, congratulations on your engagement and commiserations that it's Tyler.
Was there really an engagement, or are you just pulling the legs there?
No, there was. It was announced in our team chat.
Congratulations to them.
Ooh, boys.
Yeah, that looks like a nice battle. That and we always speak about this. If you can find yourself a battle anywhere in the field, you make it all fun. I mean, this is for 10th and 11th in the TCR. You don't have to be up front to be having fun in these leagues.
Most definitely not. No, you can, like you say, find yourself a battle, and you could have a battle for the whole hour. These top 8, 9, 8, I think it is. They split up a little bit, and then they all close up again. They split up a little bit, they all close up again. They just can't get away from each other, can they?
Yeah, I think they've all got just got toe ropes between each other, and it's a little bit like a bungee cord where they pull each other in back together, but it just doesn't separate. You're looking at this train here. It's just about the whole field, all the way down to 8th place, that you can see in one camera shot. It's phenomenal.
Who's going to blink first on the pit stop? Is there going to be any kind of undercut on this track?
Yeah, it also comes down to, is anybody going to take any tires around here? To give them an advantage in the second in their second stint. All depends on how early they're going to stop. If they're going to stop quite late, I don't think they'll take tires. But if anybody stops a little bit earlier, you might see them do it. But that's all down to their personal preference of how they want to take this, eh?
Yeah, and wobbly kneecaps is extending his lead. It's now up to nearly 5.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling away up front there. But looking
He's
at this here,
he's still got 43 minutes to not crash.
yeah, but looking at this here, Chris Needham is really holding steady in his fourth place there, being chased down by the two Chimera cars, and doing really well.
Yeah, they're catching him very, very slowly, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been behind him for quite some time, but I think he's doing well to stay in front of them there, and he will fight them for that fourth place.
I think Chris showed good speed back end of last season in the McLaren. It's just the fuel hungry McLaren let him down, and now he's switched to the Porsche. He's actually showing his true position. Chris Needham, I'm talking about, Sam.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Chris' show. Sorry. I misheard that. For once, I made a mistake. This is the first one since we started.
Yeah, people note this. Sam was wrong.
Yeah, for once. Oh man, I'm gonna hear about that for a year now.
I'm gonna dine out on that for a long time.
Yeah, Rob Vin is giving Chris Shaw a really good time there now, coming up the rear.
No, he's not. I was going to say, is Rob Venn doing a Tyler? Is he just going to sit behind Chris till the pit stop and then take less fuel? But he's just proved that theory wrong.
Yeah, I think that we know that the McLaren is thirsty and that Chris's pit stop is going to be a little bit longer. But we also know the McLaren is quite a bit quicker with Chris Shaw at the wheel. So it's going to be a balancing act.
I think the battle at the back of the TCRs, we've seen David Ayres and Matt Elmore side by side, and that's getting Martin Brennan back into the battle.
Yeah, these two are having fun for sure. They've been going at it for the last couple of laps. They've been. This is really one of the tightest hairpins anywhere on any track
in the world.
In the world, I've been trying. I mean, I was doing some laps around here, and it is the slowest one around. You just
which probably suited you.
Yeah, well, you'd think so, right?
You probably felt quite quick round there.
The problem was I was going too quickly around there, and then you just can't make that corner.
So that's Marco Lewert just going past Jason Haddington, who has stuck with the McLaren.
And these 8 cars are still in the same frame. This is a fun picture.
I'm guessing that was Carl Hardy at the back, wider than everybody else. And I mean that as in his car and his body. So these two are almost on the back of Chris Needham. I think all of these have tightened up, haven't they? I think the battle between Rob Venn and Chris Shaw has brought all three of these cars back into the podium fight.
Yeah, that Wobbly's just pulling away at the front, but the rest of this battle is all in it. I mean, even Chris looks like Chris Needham is pulling up to the back of Chris Shaw now and lapping quite quickly. Yeah, there's really nothing between them, and that is going to bode well for the rest of the race.
And that is Martin Brennan back on the back of this battle. And Tyler has just said that he's not surprised Wobbly is commanding the race. He already had race-winning pace last season, and the BMW got a slight buff in the season change. Obviously, you wasn't listening at the start, Tyler, because you was probably deplaning or something. But that's exactly what myself and Yaz were talking about. You know, there's no doubt that the pace is there with Wobbly. But he's one of those drivers that's always got a mistake in him. If he keeps it on the track, 99 times out of 100, he'll win. But one wheel on the grass and race over, rage quit, and abuse on the team chat.
And I'd assume abuse from you as well after he did make an error last week.
He gets abuse from me anyway. That's part of being in our team. You have to be able to take abuse because everybody gets it from everybody. Is
that just in your team, or does it go around?
To be honest, I think that's in a lot of teams. You know, I don't leave anybody out. I abuse everybody, so it's fair. Do like getting some digs in at the result, boys, because they give as good as they get. What are these Chimera boys gonna do? Are they gonna duck in the pits early and try the undercut to get past Chris Needham, or are they gonna gang up on him?
Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So we haven't really had a change of position in this TCR battle until the last lap, where Stephen Walker got past Lee Bowden for third. But at this stage in the race, although it's fantastic driving, it doesn't really mean much. Needham here is starting to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle. He's certainly very difficult to pass. Ooh, Jamie Wilson was so good on the brakes there. I really thought that was going to be a bump and run.
Yeah, I think this is the fun part that we talk about. You know, when you find yourself in any part of this train. Simon Trindle behind Jamie there is probably enjoying himself.
Here's the move.
Go for them.
Here's the move, and Simon's going to go through as well.
Yeah, it looks like Chris just realized that it was just going to be faster for everybody if he just follows them and try, instead of trying to defend for the next while.
So, the top 5 now have Pete Bingham in 6th. Pete has got a gap over Russell Cowell in 7th and Carl Hardy in 8th. So they are stringing out a little bit, apart from the top 5.
I know this is very late to the party here, considering we've been talking about this for so long, but Pete Bingham was in that train?
Is the operative word, yeah.
Huh?
I think he was being pulled from the front and pushed from behind.
Ah. Oh, we've got the first one in, Chris Needham.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he gave that position up and didn't fight so much, because he knew he was pitting. Now he's good. We'll be able to see now when Jamie Wilson comes in whether there is an undercut here. Stephen Walker currently in 3rd. Anybody splitting the race in half will be pitting on the next lap. So that was a 30-second stop for Chris Needham. He's come out right amongst the leaders of TCR.
Oh, that's an uncomfortable place to come out.
It might shake him up a little bit.
Yeah, but he should be able to get past. I think the difference in time between the GT4s and TCRs is about probably about 3 to 4 seconds a lap. So he should be able to make his way through.
Oh.
But yeah, this is really going to spoil his race now, needing to make his way through here.
Yeah, Stephen had a sniff, didn't he? And like I say, he really didn't want to go into the back of Gary Craig. Unfortunately, Chris Needham was there, so Simon Trendle's in. Now we would expect Simon to come out in front of Chris after that little incident, but where is this going to bring Simon out in relation to this TCR battle up front? Ooh! Mark Draper ducks in.
That's the first one in the TCRs in.
Yes, that's interesting.
He split that race in half.
That leaves Gary Craig leading the race. Now, see, this is where, if I ever race, my mind starts playing tricks on me. Because I have a pit strategy in my head, and then somebody like Mark does something totally out of the blue, and then I start questioning my own strategy. Does he know something that I don't? Is there something I've missed? And sometimes that can force you to pit.
Well, the answer to that question is probably yes most times. But yeah, you should usually just stick to what you've planned out.
Yeah. Chris Shaw and Stefan Goebel in, by the way.
Yeah.
And Marco Lewert.
I tell you what, we're halfway into this race, and you know, we've spoken about Wobbly going very fast. It has cost him a little bit. He is already sitting on 10 incident points, and we know that if you get to 15, it's a drive-through penalty, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll need to tread lightly for the next half of this race if he's already used up 10 in the first 30 minutes. We know he's been all on his own, so it's not because of any incidents with other cars. It's just him going a little bit wide here and there.
Yeah, but well, yeah, we'll wait and see. But with a lead like that, you should be able to rein it in a bit, shouldn't you?
Well, you should.
Interesting. Simon Trendle in front of Chris Shaw to the pit stop.
Yeah.
Chris Shaw's pit stop was about 5 seconds longer than Simon Trendle.
Now, is that just a McLaren thing? Did the McLaren have to take more fuel? Wobbly's in as well, and Rob Venn.
Mind you, Stefan Goebel's pit stop was also very close to Chris Shaw's time, the time he was stationary. And that's in the Porsche.
So Stephen Walker going for the lead on Gary Craig in TCR.
Yeah, these TCRs are loving their racing here. Chris Needham's now in the back, again chasing after these four. He'll be very tentative to try and get past them, but at the same time he needs to get past them because he needs to focus on his own race. But
It's
I know
difficult,
he'll be very,
isn't it?
Yeah,
When
he'll
you've
be
got,
very,
you've got that knot of cars in front of you and they're all battling.
Yeah, I think the best thing that can happen for him now is if they start putting in, start coming in, so that there's just less for him to pass. But they've just passed the pit lane, I think, now, and none of them have come in, so he's going to struggle for a while there.
Yeah, so these four in GT4 still together, just in a slightly different order. So Simon Trendle now second, Chris Shaw third, Rob Venn fourth, Jamie Wilson fifth.
Yeah, Wobbly's really pulled a very massive gap up front there. Could be that they have taken tires. Simon Trendle might not have taken tires. I'm just looking at the pit stop times now. Wobbly's stopped for 28.2 seconds, Chris Shaw 29 seconds, Rob Venn 29.5. Stefan Goebel 28, but then Jamie Wilson and Simon Trendle, they've done 25, significantly less.
4 seconds, 2 tyres, it's a possibility. I'm sure Sam will be able to show us something at some point. If we look at maybe Simon Trendle, see if he goes up on the jacks, and maybe Rob Venn, somebody like that, see if he doesn't. But at the moment, we need to concentrate on this battle.
Yeah, Chris Needham has gotten past one of them.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of patience, isn't he?
Yeah, this section now, there's just nothing you can do here. You just need to wait for the long straight and just focus on getting that exit.
Gary Craig peels off for the pit.
Then, yeah, he's just got to focus on that exit at turn 1.
So we need to watch what happens. Well, Pete Bingham obviously has gone in because Gary hasn't, and Pete can't think. But we need to see where Gary comes out in relation to Mark Draper on your screen. Because obviously there was a gnat's pubic hair between them before the pit stops. I don't think there was any tyres there for Gary. And he's done a 1.5 seconds quicker than Mark Draper. There it is. He's jumped him in the pits.
Yeah, just remember he's needed a bit less fuel than Mark there, because he's got a shorter stint towards the end. So that could have accounted for his second and 1.5 seconds shorter stop there. Well done, team. Well played. And Chris Needham has made his way through safely. And now he can focus on chasing down the back of that pack again.
Yeah, Chris Shaw putting Simon Trendle under pressure. Chris Shaw was winner last time out. Switched from TCR to GT4 this season. Obviously been the TCR champion in the past.
Yeah, we've seen Chris Shaw's, he's really able to drive anything he gets into.
Yeah, Sam Blees in the pits.
And he knows how to drive it fast, so I'm sure we'll see him make the move here.
You know, he got a really good exit there, did he?
Chris Needham really got punished behind those TCRs and in between those TCRs. He was running so well in fourth, but I think what was in sixth when he came in for the pits because he let the two Chimera cars go through. But
Yeah.
he was in the battle, but now he's completely out of it. What's it, nearly 15 seconds, 16 seconds behind Stefan Goebel.
I was going to say he's lost the place to Stefan, hasn't he?
Yeah, those TCRs have really, being patient in those TCRs have really cost him, unfortunately.
So this is Lee Bowden currently leading with Stephen Walker second. Obviously, these two haven't pitted. Marco Lawert in the GT4 is trying to get past them.
Yeah, the two of them are all over each other, right now. Stephen Walker's not letting Lee breathe, having a look everywhere. This is now Mark Draper and Gary Craig making their way through these cars at the back who haven't stopped yet.
No. Oh, Rob Ben. Oh, that nearly came off. The door was open and he stuck his foot in it, but he's actually lost a position from that, and possibly has got some damage.
Looks like he's moving quite gingerly there.
Let's have a look. I think he might be all right.
It does look like he's fighting with that steering wheel there to even just keep it straight. We'll see what happens now at this pit stop if he pulls the car in. Yeah. You could see he was just fighting with that steering wheel, trying to keep it straight there, to keep the car straight. And that's unfortunate. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he was just trying to put it up the inside of trying to follow Chris Shaw there, but it just didn't come off.
Yeah, he carried a lot of speed in, didn't he? And I thought he'd got away with it. Oh, hello. Can't beat a bit of paint rubbing. Sam Blees there behind them saying, come on, boys, more of that, please. So let's just see this. I say, you see Rob come in fairly quickly, and I thought he'd got it slowed down. That's not it. No.
Before that. Oh, after this.
This is it. No, it's not.
Rob Vin's out of it here already.
Yeah, he's not in the picture, is he? So, yeah, let's carry on.
Here we go.
There we go. See there, he just seemed to have a lot more speed than everybody else.
We see Chris Shaw take up the inside there. Ooh. Yeah,
It was
it's
the
just getting,
lightest of touches, wasn't it?
I think it was just that awkward angle. It just hit him on the wheel.
Look at this battle for... Oh, they're going to go 3 wide into TCRs.
Ooh. This is fun. We've got 18 minutes left in this race and they are attached. Gary Craig didn't make the same mistake he made last week, so he's in this battle now.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
opportunistic, I think, that one from Sam.
Chris Shaw trying to come through again. What's happened that he's behind?
I think Simon and Chris are just trading places for fun at the moment. Lee Bowden, Carl Hardy, Shane Powell, Russell Crowe. No, Russell stayed out, sorry. Lee, Carl and Shane have all pitted, as has Martin Brennan.
Lee Bowden coming out in 3rd place. I think he's just benefited from that little argy-bargy that Sam Blees was involved in.
Oh.
Ooh,
Again, it's the curb, isn't it? It stops the rotation of the car. Did you think he's going to get this done? Bang on the curb into the other car.
Yeah, it is a bit optimistic around there. You know, you really got to... to make that work, you really got to know that the other car is going to leave that room for you.
Yeah.
You know, and he's
and
nowhere
keep
close
off that
to...
curb.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not even alongside the other car, so there's no need for him to leave room. You know, that car has all right to take the corner. So...
Russell
he's come up second best there.
Russell Cowell has pitted. Sam Blees is back in the pits. Sam Blees must have got damage.
Yeah, he must have picked up damage there.
No, he is pitting, I was going to say, or he's gone over the incident limit. But no, that looks like a pit stop for repairs. Yeah, front of the car was hanging off. Looks like he didn't use his fast repair. Well done. On the first stop. So he still had it for the second one. But that's dropped him down to 9th. Wobbly Kneecaps is in the race. He's currently 12 seconds in the lead in GT4. He will be desperately trying not to rack up any more incident points.
Yeah, he's got a big gap now to second place, so it's just about taking it easy all the way to the end now. He doesn't need to do anything silly or push too hard. 12 seconds is a big gap to try and pull down over 13, 14 minutes, especially while still doing battles. So I'm not sure Chris Shaw is going to be able to catch him for first place, but Chris Shaw does have quite a bit of work to keep himself on the podium here. He might. These two Chimera cars are all over him, trying to get onto the podium.
Yeah, this is the battle, isn't it, in GT4, the battle for second, third and fourth.
Now they're coming up to some TCR traffic here that they need to navigate.
That will be Sam Blees after his pit stop. So we've had a message on Twitch from Spencer McCarthy saying Sam did have damage and needed to get it repaired. So thanks for that, Spencer. Lee Bowden's got in front of Gary Craig. This battle is going to rage for the final 12 minutes. They've got themselves a little bit of a gap. So into the hairpin. A little bit of door to door, but we've seen plenty of that on the hairpin. Why do people not defend into that hairpin? That's a question.
Because it's too slow. Everybody needs to go through this slow.
Yeah, sorry, yes. I think it's because if you run wide, you get the grunt of the exits, and you get more speed, and you can get back in front before the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're taking that corner, if you're taking that hairpin as tight as you can, you really are slow out of there. So yeah, it's a bit
my thinking behind it though is if you don't defend into there, you're going to lose the position. So why not defend and take your chances? And as I say that, Lee defends.
And he's stuck to him all the way through this year. And yeah, we're bound to see this for the next 10 minutes between the two of them.
Without a doubt. And the more they battle, the more it's going to bring Stephen Walker and Mark Draper into the battle. Pete Bingham has stealthed his way up to 5th.
He's got Russell Crowe behind him.
We got flashing lights there. Matt Elmore. Take the bulbs out of them. Stefan Goebel not really had the day that he wanted or expected. We've seen that he's absolutely rapid on these German tracks.
Yeah, he just had that unfortunate incident on the first lap.
Yeah,
and it's just like we said earlier, this field is so tight. Any mistakes are just going to cost you dearly.
Lee's listening to me. And Stephen didn't defend, and Mark Draper went past him. So I think both of you are wrong.
Twice in one night, Sam?
I never said you should not defend.
He's having a shocker.
No, I just said you can have the grunt on the exit. I never said you don't have to defend. You're just making your own truth.
He's backtracking now. He's backtracking.
Talking about backtracking.
I guarantee that this broadcast goes missing somewhere and never appears in the archive.
I already stopped broadcasting. We're talking to the void right now, and it's already there we go. It's gone.
Yeah, I think someone else is also wanting to forget this race is Rob Venn, who's withdrawn completely after that incident. I'm not sure if he used up his fast repair before that incident happened.
He's still going.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just all the way at the back of the field?
Yeah, he's at the back and a lap down.
Ah. Yeah, so I'm sure he'll want this broadcast to disappear into the archives as well.
In fact, he's about 3 laps down on the leader, to be honest. But Wobbly carries on going through the fields. What's going on in that second position in GT4? When we left it, Chris Shaw was ahead of Simon Trendle. And still the same at the moment. That's a drag race.
Inside line.
Yeah, he's got him again, hasn't he?
Or was that at the hairpin? Who took the inside line at the hairpin?
Neither of them.
Is Wobbly making his way through the TCR leaders now? Is that Wobbly?
It is, and I think this is going to bring Mark Draper and Stephen Walker onto the back of the leaders and make it a four-way battle for the win. With 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, Wobbly's just biding his time, not trying to disturb this one, just waiting for the long curve straight coming up now. He'll probably make the move here.
Yeah, he should get both of them here. I don't actually think Lee's defended there. I think that was just because Wobbly went up the inside. Now he is, but he's not gone enough. Gary Craig's going to try and pick the lock.
Yeah. Who doesn't go into one there at all?
I think it was very similar to Lee's pass on Gary, wasn't it? Yeah, there's going to be a door bang at the end of that, and one of them will come out in first and one of them will come out in second.
Yeah, that's a really ugly corner on this track here. We've seen quite a few... Someone has to give way there.
I'm most definitely not saying that is Lee's fault, but I think if you're the car on the outside, it must be wiser for you to really take that corner wide and try and get the drive off, rather than having a touch and losing out totally. But these guys are in the car, not me. So, what do I know?
I don't know if I'm seeing correctly, but has Wobbly got 15x?
We'll find out.
And just talking about that 15X there, you can see Mark Draper, who is in a battle of his own, is on 13, so he's going to be quite tentative over this last bit. Pete Bingham's on 11, so he can't afford to have any car contact either.
Here we go again. Stephen Walker's getting interested. See the back of his car snaking there. He was on the brake so hard.
And also, I think Chris Shaw showing us as 12X, so these guys can't afford to knock into another car, because that would see them get the penalty. So yeah, we're going to see some really tentative things going on now towards the end of this race. The time for door banging is now done because it could just cost too much.
Oh, look at the speed he carried there. I taught him that. And my track map is not working, so I have no idea. Ooh,
yep.
There you go.
That's Mark Draper.
Got to be a drive-through.
Shootout to Jimmy Wilson, which is our second cameraman today, showing the battle with Chris right now on his inside cam.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. That means we can concentrate on this one.
Yep, so that was Mark Draper in. Was that for his... Nope, I think he may have fallen short. Mark Draper, he did stop for a...
yeah.
Am I right? No, I don't think I'm right. I'm not sure. I missed it completely. Yeah, Lee Bowden, Gary Craig, Simon Walker now. Ooh! Are they looking at each other or are they just going for it? Yeah.
Obviously, Yaz is doing a bill there. It's Stephen Walker.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and Mark was a penalty, by the way. So
Was
Right.
Mark the penalty? Okay.
yeah. Pit lane drive
Makes
through.
sense.
That's
I
dropped
think,
him down to 8th.
I'm concerned
Oh,
about
here we go.
Bobby.
We're going to have both battles in the same picture shortly.
And it should be close to white flag now, isn't it? Coming
I
up.
would think, where is Wobbly? Yes, he's going to be taking the white flag now.
Oh, what? Is he going over? Are we missing something? What's he doing side by sides there?
Unless he thinks he's finished.
Who was that? Mark
That's
Draper?
Mark Draper again. Oh,
Did what?
he was just seemed to be really slow. I think he was he slowing to let... No, he wouldn't have been slowing to let Sam pass. That was a position.
It wasn't just me. We did see
Here
Wobbly.
we go. This is it. The lead, well, not actually the lead battle in GT4, but the best battle in GT4 and the lead battle in TCR, all in the same picture.
Oh, this is going to be some fun, yeah.
And on the last lap. I think that has just stopped Gary Craig having a sniff at the win.
Yeah, as Wobbly should be coming close to the line now.
Yeah, Wobbly's about to take the checkered flag.
I am interested to see if my system is telling me correctly that Wobbly does have 16x. Does that mean he's going to
Well, if he has,
it's going to push him down?
it will give him a time penalty at the end of the race. So
Well done to him.
I will check the result before we announce the winner. But ultimately, across the line, Wobbly Kneecaps comes home first in GT4, Chris Shaw second, Simon Trendle third, and in TCR, Lee Bowden took the win, Stephen Walker second, and Gary Craig third.
Yeah, that's it's definitely not as calm as you announcing it now. Those races were on from the beginning to end.
As they
From beginning
usually
to
are.
Yeah, in both sides. Well, Wobbly ran away at the front, but in second, third, and fourth was a battle that went on for a long time.
Okay,
Wow.
so that's everybody across the line. So, well, what can we say about that, Yaz? Again, absolutely fantastic racing.
Jeez, yeah. Once again, I mean, we saw the pace of Wobbly going there. It was phenomenal. No one could match him at all. I think in the end he finished about 12 seconds ahead of him, ahead of anybody in the GT4s there. And then, yeah, the TCR battle that we've come to know and love went on again as expected.
Yeah, we don't really expect anything different from them guys anymore, do we? Just trying to grab the official result. Come on,
No,
where are you? There you are.
no, everything looks fine as far as incidents go. So no penalties there for Wobbly. I don't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, I've got him at 9 in total. So
Yep.
yeah, no problems there. Okay, so we have got. I'm hoping Wobbly's going to come in for an interview. I think he's too busy basking in his glory at the moment. So, in the meantime, let's let you start off, Yaz, and bring in third place in TCR, Gary Craig.
That was quick.
Jeez, Gary, well done there. That was quick. That hour went by quickly. I don't know if it went by quickly for you, but geez, what a battle.
Yeah, that was interesting. Good fun all the way through.
Yeah. You use the word interesting. That's usually a word that needs more description. Your battle went backwards and forwards there with all the guys in the TCRs. I mean, most of the time we could see the first 8 TCRs in the same picture for most of that race. But you got your elbows out quite a bit there towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, interesting in the sense that, yeah, it was just so much going on with so many people there. At the start, I was following Mark. We weren't really trying to go for it. Like after the first couple of laps, we kind of settled down. But yeah, Mark dived for the pits early, and I led a few laps. Then I thought, actually, I'm going to dive in as well, because we were starting to slow each other up. So I didn't want Mark to get too far away. Then when we came back out, Lee was right there. We just about got a couple of seconds, but as soon as Lee got the first chance of a go, he sent it down the inside. So I thought he might follow for a couple of laps to give us a gap. But anyway, he pushed me off a little bit when he went through, obviously unintentionally, and then I did the exact same thing to him when I got back through on him a few laps later, unintentionally. So it's good fun. 0x with Mark a little bit, and our cars bounced a bit, which is a bit weird. But yeah, it was fair. It was elbows out, but it was all fair.
Yeah, that hairpin, eh? That hairpin. Clyde was saying, why is nobody defending into the hairpin? Because all the passes happen there. That was a fun part of the track. Eh? Like you said, you guys went back and forth at that part.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you really want to run as wide as you can out of that kind of parabolic straight so that you can have the inside, because it is hard to overtake around the outside, but if you can get the run, you can get a do. I managed to defend around the outside a couple of times early on. To be honest, I didn't expect somebody to stick it up the inside that early, but I still defended from Stephen when he did. Again, you can jink back and forwards. At one point, we were 3 wide with the GT4s coming into the back of us near the end there as well. It was getting a bit crazy. So it was, and then that last lap was mad. I was on 11x, so 1 4x would have given me a drive through. So I was making absolutely sure I didn't have a 4x contact. And then when the 3 GT4s came up on the 2, 3, and 4 and GT4 came up on 1, 2, and 3 in the TCR for that whole last lap. That was just mad.
Yeah, it was interesting is a good word to use. But another third place, another podium for you. Well, I say another one. It's only the second race of the season. But I mean,
it's only my first podium because I messed up.
Last week, I'm just thinking of all the other races where you've been up there. So you've got the pace again. You've shown that you've got the pace just for that mistake that you made last week. So I'm sure you're happy that you've made up for that.
Honestly, the podiums are feeling more and more rewarding because the drivers who are entering this league now are just getting better and better, and the guys who have been here for a while are getting better and better. You know, it makes them harder to come by, and it makes them all the more rewarding when you kind of pick one up. It's really good fun.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the new drivers, but talking about the old drivers, Pete Bingham ended up right behind you. So he's not new, and he's right there. So
that's what I mean. All the older guys who've been in for a while, they're all getting faster. Everyone's improving, and the new guys that are coming in are slotting right in there. So it's a really, really competitive field in the TCR. It's really good fun.
Yeah, that race was a lot of fun to watch. Well done on your podium, being back up there again, and you can keep it up for the rest of the season. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, say thank you to this week?
Yeah, of course, you guys for organising the league and for doing the broadcast and all that. And big shout out to Pete there, he got P4. I think he was a bit miffed last week, and then he's recalibrated his pedals this week and he's found a lot of pace. So he hopefully it was just a little gremlin in his tech, so he's right on it there. Great result tonight, and a massive thank you to all the guys who were just racing hard and fair there, because that was a fantastic race. I'm really looking forward to watching that one back.
Well done again, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so that's one of our losers out of the way. Let's get a winner in. Let's bring in Wobbly Kneecaps himself. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you, Clive.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the win. And secondly, an absolutely commanding win in GT4. We certainly didn't expect that. How did you do it?
I didn't brake the whole race, so I just kept my foot on the gas, on the gas pedal.
That's the way to do it.
So basically, because of the fuel change which was made this season, I didn't have to save anything. But to be fair, I did do 2 officials this week already, and normally I don't do any officials for GT4. I just do this race, so I think that's where the difference was this week.
So a bit of practice is the secret then?
I guess.
Any time in that race that you had any dodgy moments, or once you got that lead, was you quite, did you think you was just going to carry on extending your lead and get away and take a comfortable win?
I did expect me to be running a little bit faster than the other guys, but especially the first 20 minutes, I even said to Rob, I'm not holding in, I'm just pushing, I'm flat out, I'm just pushing as much as a gap as I could get, because I didn't know what the other guys were doing behind us with the fuel and stuff, so I just wanted to have like 6 or 7 seconds, just went completely mental on it. And yeah, well, in the end, I mean, the margin was 12 seconds or something. And I didn't want to interfere with the fight with Lee and Gary. Or I did try to help Gary a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I did have 2 oversteer moments which shed my pants. So I'm just gonna change after this interview. But
here's another daft question for you. White flag. As you cross the line, you was weaving and flashing your lights like you'd won. please tell me that wasn't one of those moments that you thought the race was over and then realised there was another lap to go.
No, it wasn't. Not to be demeaning or be arrogant, but the race I was so far ahead that I just got bored at a certain point. It was always fun to race, but yeah, the TCRs are behind me. I had nothing more to do, and was just playing a bit with my steering wheel and stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We've seen that go wrong in the past.
No, this wasn't one of those occasions.
Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Well, you guys for the broadcast. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it as I most time do. EDF Motorsports for the sponsoring, and I feel really sorry for Rob because I think he could have gotten second place, and well, I didn't see the incident, but he got tucked out. And to be fair, Pete became fourth, so good job to him.
Yeah, good team result all round. Well, once again, congratulations on your win, and we'll see you next time out. Wobbly kneecaps.
All right, see you guys. So, I'm in the YOM switch. Now I'm here. I'm still here. Okay. Why is Clyde behind?
Yeah, I think that's typical Clyde, you know? So we're just gonna make up the broadcast ourselves, and we don't need Clyde anyway.
We don't need Clyde, man.
Yeah,
Well,
Seb's gonna leave.
Great camera work.
Well, we do have the TCR winner in the booth, Lee Bowden. Welcome to the booth.
Good evening. You all right?
all right. Clyde has just put a technical glitch on himself and moved himself out of the interview booth.
In other words, he's gone to get cake then, yeah?
Something like that, yeah. Well done on that win there, Lee. A brilliant race to watch. I'm sure it was a brilliant race to be in. From your point of view, how was that?
Yeah, with this sort of group of drivers, it almost stops becoming about the win. You just end up having so much fun for whatever position it is. And yeah, I mean, sort of for a lot of the race, there was 4 or 5 of us nose to tail, and yeah, that race was amazing.
Yeah, you're saying 5 of you. For most of the start of the race, probably before the pit stops, there were 8 cars in the same picture all the time of those TCRs. It was quite a battle up front there. And then,
yeah.
And then
I mean, it was like because I sort of qualified pole, and I sort of figured, right, okay, I'm gonna have to give this probably 2 or 3 laps to see if I can break the toe, which, to be honest, I didn't really expect to. And I thought, well, if I can't do that, I need to start fuel saving immediately. So once I got to that long straight, I thought, well, I'll let one of them pass. I can't actually remember who that was now. And of course, they're sort of all nose to tail, so I think I ended up having to sort of filter in back and forth. But fortunately, that meant that I could sort of save enough fuel that I could just keep on attacking for the rest of the race and not lose too much time in the pit stop. So it all worked out well in the end.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you ended up first in the, towards the end there. It got very tight with a lot of jostling for position. It just looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the thing is with the drivers in this series, they're so talented that you know that you can race them really, really hard, because you're not really likely to just punt them off and that they can't recover from it. So even if you're sort of racing really, really close, you go into that tight hairpin. I mean, sure, I might tap Gary or Gary might tap me, but you know he's not going to spin and his race is going to be over. So, it sort of means that you can actually have some great side-by-side action. So, yeah, and I think it all worked out well tonight, and I think it probably, looks quite good for the series.
Yeah, well, for sure, it did look. It was really made a really good broadcast, really good fun. I'm sure everybody who was watching enjoyed that battle up front in the TCRs there, as much as you guys enjoyed driving it. Well done again on your victory this week, and I hope there's going to be more for you in the season ahead. Is there any shout-outs you want to give this week?
Yeah, family. Obviously the sponsors of the series, and you guys for putting this on, because to be honest, without the series being on, I don't think I'd have so much fun on a Wednesday. So yeah, it's yeah, that's pretty much it for the time being. And obviously, the drivers involved in the series as well, because it's the drivers within the series that make it as enjoyable as it is.
For sure, midweek fun. Well, thanks, Lee, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Cheers. Welcome back, Clyde.
Yeah, sorry, I was just had to go and do some organising. So let's now bring in 4th place in GT4, Jamie Wilson. Please proceed to collection point B. Sorry, private joke. Now, knowing you, Jamie, you absolutely loved that battle.
Yeah, of course, naturally. Yeah, it was a great one. I was just hearing about all the escapades in TCR. Sam, you must be knackered trying to catch all of the action going on, because it's all going on at once the whole time.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you'd gone for a poo then. One thing, obviously Simon doesn't come in for an interview because he's shy, but he's starting to show some. I know Simon from old, and he is an absolutely fantastic driver, but I've never seen him in the GT4 before, so I don't know what experience he's got with it, but he's certainly wringing the neck of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same for me. We've only really... I've done 2 races of note in it, and Simon's done 1. Yeah, neither of us are particularly experienced in the car. We're trying to figure that out. I was just saying to Wobbly in the other channel that we haven't quite got the full hang of the car just yet. I think Red Bull Ring probably complemented us a little bit, and now that we're on other tracks, we're having to fight the car a bit more. But we'll get used to that. Simon's been my teammate for the thick end of 15 years, so he's very similar to me in the way that he races people and that kind of thing, which hopefully over the last couple of years has been entertaining. So yeah, he's certainly not shy when it comes to throwing a car around the track very quickly. So
yeah, and obviously tonight, Wobbly was a country mile away from everybody else. But what can you and Simon do about that pesky Chris Shaw and his McLaren?
Yeah, that really did to and fro. Part of that was the tyres, because Simon twigged during his stop that he could have taken tyres. Actually, we didn't think we could, and so I did. I don't know if Chris did. I assume he did. So we're all on slightly different situations, and Chris was wearing his tyres out at quite a rate compared to us. So yeah, it sort of ebbed and flowed quite a bit, which made it really interesting. And then we had a bunch of traffic. I nearly killed Pete, or Pete nearly killed me, whichever way you want to look at it.
We'll go with Pete nearly killed you.
Yeah. Well, I had to put some faith in him. Give Pete a chance and all that.
That was shocking. We really should end the interview now because of that. But yeah, no, another classic race in this series. It's sometimes you go into a series, whatever it is, and sometimes there's going to be just a crap race and not much happens, and it's quite boring. And there hasn't been one of them in this for some time. So yeah, roll on the next one. Yeah, that is credit to all the drivers. And next time out, we're at Watkins Glen, which is one of my favourite tracks. What are you like round there?
I absolutely detest the place and wish it was scrubbed off the face of the earth. It's rubbish.
I love it when drivers say that.
There's one person that hates it more than me, and that's Simon. So, yeah, that'll be a case of get to the end of the race, alt F4, done.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well,
the racing will be good because it's a slipstream track. So, in both classes, that will just be nuts. So.
Well, we thoroughly enjoyed your battles tonight, and before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, to yourselves as usual. To Simon for joining me in the league. Been doing it on my own for a little while. He's not really been doing a lot of sort of big event type racing stuff, so he's sort of easing back into it, and I'm thankful that he's joining me in this to do that. And yeah, say yourselves, the other drivers, the TCR guys, Pete for not killing me, and yeah, bring on Watkins so that it can finish even sooner than as soon as possible.
Right, brilliant. Okay, well, pleasure as usual, Jamie, talking to you. Congratulations on your 4th place, and we'll see you with a big smile on your face at Watkins Glen.
See you later.
Yeah, that's the way to end an interview. So, Yaz, let's bring in for you now 2nd place TCR driver, Stephen Walker.
Hello, guys.
Good evening, Stephen. Another podium for you in what was another epic battle at the front of the TCR field. Without asking any questions, you can just go in and tell us what that was all about.
That was absolutely crazy. I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't think it'd be like last season's Hockenheim race, but that was proper fighty, proper battle. It was one of the best races I've ever had, and it was beautiful chaos.
Just remember that, Sam. We need to put the entry fee up next season.
I keep saying, and I've repeated myself a couple of times. We saw 8 TCRs in the same camera shot for quite some time there, and you were in the mix there, of course, all the time. Was there enough space on the track for all of you?
Yeah, just about. There was a few door bangs here and there, I think, throughout the field. I just want to say, before we go any further, sorry to the GT4. I think it was Chris, I'm not sure. I was trying so hard not to hit him, but he just turned in as he normally would for the corner, and then unfortunately it sent him off. And looking at it, I think, I hope he didn't get any damage. Yeah, so that, I'm really sorry. It was just one of them things. Obviously, I was trying my best to avoid it. He just braked it a little bit too early. But with the rest of the guys, the racing was fantastic as well. As I say, it was really enjoyable, and next week's going to be mental.
So on this track, we saw quite a bit of action at the hairpin. What's your view on the hairpin? Do you defend on the inside, or do you take it up and trust your exit speed on exit?
Literally depended on if there was cars in front and how far past the person was when they were overtaking me on the inside. It was because either way you could, like as you saw last season as well, you could defend it from the inside fairly easily, but it depended on the other person giving you the room on the exit. Whereas if you're on the outside, you tended to get a better drive out. I think that's what kind of happened. I think a few times I went down the inside and they managed to keep it on the outside with the better drive. It literally, I think it's just luck, to be honest. or if it's a little bit of a block pass, which I didn't see much of, but it was good fun.
Well, Clyde, there you have it. It's all luck in the hairpin. But Stephen, well done again on another podium for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you throughout for the rest of the season. Before you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, obviously just you guys for running the league, doing the broadcast, and then obviously Lee for winning, Gary for getting on the podium again, and then Sam, the new guy, turned up. He was brilliant, and then unlucky for Mark as well. Yeah, just and my teammates as well. I guess I have to do that, don't I?
You don't have to, but it would be nice.
Well, sorry, they'll kill me. Yeah, it was great. Good racing, everyone as well. It's fantastic. I'm still buzzing, as you can tell.
Yeah, well done, Stephen. We look forward to seeing you next week again. Cheers, man.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
Okay, so let's bring in Mr. Pete Bingham. Obviously, SDK is not working correctly because it said you finished 4th.
Yeah, it's obviously a glitch in the matrix somewhere. I couldn't believe it myself when Wobbly was making his way through some traffic or other. And he was like, well done, Pete, 4th place. I was like, no, I'm not, I'm in 5th. And Mark Draper had been in for a naughty boy visit, so too many incidents. I couldn't believe it. I did. My first 2 laps were probably missed off the broadcast like all of my decent driving is. And I did some of my best moves ever on the first 2 laps. I think I pulled about 4 or 5 places before the 3rd lap. It was amazing. I really enjoyed that. It was exhausting.
Yeah, you obviously up 6 places from your I think it was 10th in qualifying.
Yeah.
And Gary alluded to the fact that you've recalibrated your pedals and found some speed.
I've never been so angry in my life. I was miles slower than a load of people in an official race, and I was like, this is silly. You know, I've paid all this money for a new set of pedals. I'm not going any quicker. And he was like, have you recalibrated them? I was like, well, no. So I did, and I instantly found 1.2 seconds. I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding.
It's usually something daft, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, say 4th place is brilliant. Did you think you had the speed for that, or can we say that the naughty step for Mark and the issue that Sam had probably helped you out with a couple of positions?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Sam. I was following him around for ages, and then he just vanished. It was somewhere in the pit stops, I think, or something. Because myself and Gary decided. Well, I had no toe at that point. And sorry, to answer your first question, I'm not as fast as the 5 that should have beaten me. I'm not even as fast as Carl Hardy. So I think today some people were on off days, and I got lucky with Mark getting a naughty boy. Still don't know what happened to Sam, because I was following him for ages. And then me and Gary pitted because he was towing everybody around and didn't want to. I was not getting towed around by anybody and wanted to. So we wanted to see where Mark Draper had come out, and Gary got the jump on him, but I wasn't near enough to get any tow. And it kind of came out as we went in, apart from Sam Blease never appeared in front of me.
Yeah, Sam pitted, and then when he came out, he had some contact with somebody and had some more damage. But luckily he hadn't used his fast repair, but he did have to pit again to get rid of the damage.
Right, that's a shame, because that battle, I think, eventually we caught onto the back. I say we, me, Russell and Carl, caught onto the back of that lead train for about a lap and a half. But then they just spat me out the back, and I was then fighting Russell and Carl for the rest of the race. And I thought they were going to do me on the last lap, but then 3 Exocet missiles in the form of Chris, Simon and Jamie come howling through, and I thought, I'm going to get done here. I've got all the way through this race, and I'm about to get wiped out by 3 GT4s after surviving all the door banging of the TCRs. I took a 1X to keep out of Jamie's way because he was absolutely nailing it past me. I don't think you caught it on the footage, but it was lethal.
Jamie did actually thank you for not killing him.
Yeah, it would have been easy. I took to the outside of the second hairpin to try and keep out of the way. And yeah, that was terrifying. There's some soiled underpants that I had to throw out of my window because that was a code brown. But yeah, great race. I am exhausted and covered in sweat. It's just not pretty where I am right now. But I'd do that race again exactly like that because the guys that I was racing with were fantastic. So safe, so reliable, nothing dirty in it at all. It was great.
Always good to hear. So before we let you go, Pete, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, all our sponsors. As ever, BSTV. You guys for spending the evening talking about us. I'll be repaying the favour at some point across the weekend, probably multiple times. And yeah, everybody that's watched, really. Hopefully I got some footage this time. Hopefully Wobbly got none because he was too busy laughing all the way around the track. He was just unbelievably fast tonight. And yeah, thanks to everybody who races because they're a great bunch of guys.
Excellent. Well, pleasure to talk to you, Pete, and congratulations on your 4th place. We'll see you next time out.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Okay, so last but not least for you, Yaz, we have got Mark Draper, the only driver to visit the naughty step tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was
Well,
fun
it's-
though. It was mega fun race tonight. Mega fun.
well, it's not sorry. You don't have to say sorry to us. I think it's sorry to you because you were in it up until you needed to make that pass through there. But you enjoyed yourself, as it sounds. Talk us through that race there.
Well, I was a bit surprised because Lee gave me the lead at first because I was just going to sit behind him and save a bit of fuel, and I thought, right, I'll have a couple of laps, see if I can leave them a little bit. And I got it up to like a second at one point. I thought, right, I'll be able to push a bit more. Might be able to break the toe. But then they got on the straight and they're straight back on my bumper again. And then I seen them all saving fuel, and I was thinking, these can't be this fast, like repetitively. Because I was doing at the time, I was doing low 39s, 49, sorry. And I was thinking, right, I'm gonna pit early, and then see what the lap times are when I obviously come out and clean air. And I was still doing roughly the same lap times, maybe it was a little bit slower after the pit stops, but they were doing like half a second slower. So I was thinking, right, as long as they another 2 laps, and I'll be fine. I'll be able to get out in front, and that'll be the end of it. I'll be gone. But Gary seen that I was doing lower. Well, he said he'd seen I was doing quicker lap times and pitted. But that fuel saving like they did at the start is what got them in front. And then I came straight out the pit. He came out the pit, and I was just battling like left, right, and centre, just trying to get past him because I thought I was quicker. But then I started making mistakes, getting 1Xs, and that was the end of my race. But yeah, it was mega fun racing Stephen and Gary, all of them. We're racing them all. They were class.
Yeah, no, that race up front was really fun to watch. So many cars in it, in the TCR battle for most of that race. The top 5 being super fast, like you're saying, all on the pace. You didn't get the best result this evening, but I'm sure how you're feeling about how this is panning out for the rest of the season in these battles.
Yeah, I think it's going to be so close with us. Sam should have been in as well, to be honest. But I think he was just seeing how everything goes this race. I think we had a bit of contact as well because I went for a cutback on Gary, and then he might have thought I was going wide. I apologise after the race. I thought it was my fault, but it was a bit of a 50-50. He went for a move that wasn't quite there, and I sort of slammed the door on him, didn't know he was there. So, but other than that, I think it's going to be a great championship this season, definitely.
Yeah,
we're
definitely looking forward to it. I mean, we're only 2 weeks in, and it's been epic battles up front there in the TCRs. Tell me, before you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to this week?
Just you boys for putting the stream on. All the lads that are racing the league that are fast and fair and make it fun. And the result boys, as always, for being top boys.
That's good to hear. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week again at Watkins Glen. Well done on this race. Unfortunate about this result, but good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Okay, so obviously myself and Yaz have already spoken about the race. Sam, from the camera's point of view, bit of help there at the end with the TCR battle and the GT4 battle all in the same picture.
Yeah, it definitely made it easier. I think Jamie asking the question, resume everything, that was a frantic race, even more than last week. If they continue like that, we're all gonna put them on the centripetal track and we're gonna just look at them for 1 hour and that will be it, We'll make life easier.
That's actually a good idea. That could be a good race.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sure. Awesome race. Great thing. It's awesome. I like it.
Okay, so gents, it's time to put you on the spot. It is driver of the evening time. I shall kick off. And basically, I could give it to anybody in the field tonight. I really should give it to Wobbly Kneecaps for his commanding win, but I've said I'm not giving it to any winners. It could be any one of those guys in that GT4 battle. It could be any one of those 8 in the TCR battle. But I'm going to be very biased tonight and for his 4th place, and an absolutely fantastic result for Pete Bingham. He's going to get my vote. So over to you, Yaz.
I'll cut it short because I'm jumping ship from the GT4s, and I've made up my mind too. It's also Pete Bingham for me for that 4th place, eh?
Okay, so 2 for Pete. That means he's going to be even more sweaty now. And Sam, from you, please.
Jeez, he must have sent you a big payload for that. That's
Well, if he hasn't yet, he's going to have to do it now.
I expect flowers and chocolates in the morning.
yeah. Since half of the race, I already made my mind, and I thought I'm gonna pick the winner of that TCR battle. So that's gonna be Lee Bowden for today.
Lee Bowden. So interestingly, did you like that pun? Interestingly, we have Rob Venn on 2 votes, Pete Bingham on 2 votes, and Lee Bowden on 2 votes after 2 rounds. So couldn't be any tighter there. So absolutely fantastic race as usual. But each week we say that was the best race we've ever seen, and it is the best race we've ever seen. So enough about that one. This week we are back on Sunday with round 8 of the Grand Touring Club Cup GTE action from Interlagos. Can anybody catch and beat Ty Simons? We'll have to wait and see. And then next Wednesday, we are back with this series, round 3 from Watkins Glen. That's going to be absolutely fantastico. So it just leaves me to thank BSTV for sponsoring the series. Thanks to Yaz and Sam for joining me in the booth. Thanks to all of the drivers for putting on these fantastic races week in, week out. Thanks to everybody on the chat who joins in. As I say every week, we really appreciate that. Make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already, and make sure you follow us on Facebook, and that way you will never miss any of the action. It's time for me to say good night. I'll let the guys say good night, and then we'll close the broadcast. So thanks for watching. Good night, everybody, and stay safe.
Good evening, everybody. See you all next week.
And good night, everybody. See you on Sunday. No peak rushing this time. That's sad.